Hello, everyone. Pink Barn Stamper, Danny Garola coming to you from my pink barn here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, you guys had a great weekend. Your week is starting off fabulous. Ours is. It has been extremely busy around here. I finally got all my Christmas cards wrapped up. It really seems kind of crazy. This Christmas season really snuck up on me so quickly that I was like, oh my gosh, I did not even get any of my Christmas cards sent out in the mail. So I quickly, like last night, I stayed up till about 2 o'clock in the morning getting my Christmas cards all addressed and out. So my husband could take them to the post office today. I also was up making a loaf of sourdough last night, so that is proving. So when I'm done with the video tonight, I will go in and put that in the oven and cook that up so we can have fresh bread for tomorrow. I am reading a fantastic book. If you guys have been following me the last couple of weeks, I've been also telling you guys about the fabulous books that I've been reading. I am in the Marple or Maisie Marple, what it is called, the let me see here. Let me tell you guys. It is the Ornament Exchange Murder, a small town Christmas in July cozy mystery. So the way I get my books is I subscribe to an email. It's called Free Booksy, all one word. And you actually get every day they'll send you an email and it tells you what books are free for the day through Amazon, through your Kindle. So this book here is really kind of cute. I'm loving it. It's so like Hallmark, I guess you would say. I'm about halfway through it. I love Maisie Marple's books. She has a great little cute kind of sense of humor. All of her settings, there's like a fuzz floating around. All of her settings are like in these super cute little towns. This one here, like I said, it takes place in July, but they're having a Christmas exchange. And as you can tell by in the title of it, the Ornament Exchange Murder, somebody gets murdered. But it's really cute. There's no gory, there's no like profanity, anything like that. So if you guys are looking for a good read that you could just like quickly, and her books go pretty quick too. There's not a lot of pages. Let me see if I can see how many pages this book has to it. It says that there are 104 pages. So, you know, you can get it done in a couple of days, depending on how quickly you read and how much time you have. But it's just a cute little book that you can read for the holidays. It just kind of brightens everything up. So I lay in bed at night. So last night I didn't get to read much because, like I said, I didn't go to bed till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I think I maybe got through a page and a half and I was zonked. So really, really cute. Now, as far as what I'm watching, so right now I started a new Hulu exclusive. It is called All's, ALL''S, Fair. Now, holy moly, Mary Mother. Now that one has probably got every actor and actress in like rotation right now in it. I was telling my husband about it because I just started watching it yesterday. And I was telling him, I said, holy moly, I've never seen a show with so many different actors, actresses, ages, just all sorts of people in one show. And I'm talking like big name actors and actresses. Like we've got Glenn Close, we've got Naomi Watts, there's Kim Kardashian, there's who else is in it? Niecy. Oh, I can't remember her last name. But anyways, there are just so many actors and actresses in it. I was like literally blown away. Every time I like look up and I look at it, there's a new person talking with a new actor's name up there, or you know, a new actor on screen. So it's just, it's more what would I kind of consider it? I wouldn't say that it's a thriller. I would say it's, what would be the genre of that? Well, it's about a group of women who are lawyers, attorneys, and they are like going after like wealthy people who have cases. And so these three women are kind of like showing that, hey, we as women can also be hardcore attorneys as well. And it's got some little racy things in it, but I'm digging it. So, because I'm just anticipating the Stranger Things second set of series, or second set of episodes to come out, which is supposed to drop on Christmas. So I'm so excited about that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to keep myself occupied by either watching something, and sometimes I'm not even really watching it. It's just more of the noise going in the background while I'm working and doing things. Like we have a TV up here and then a big, like, I think that's a 75-inch TV over here on this wall. So as I'm sitting here, I have to have one of the two TVs going just as while I'm working and I'm crafting and I'm stamping, that I've got tons of noise going on, just because it's kind of it keeps me like focused. I swear I've got ADD. I've never been diagnosed, but I think I probably do. Especially because I'm kind of like squirrel and my mind just goes off on other things. I could be having 25 conversations with nobody. That's just how I roll. All right, you guys, welcome in. Thanks for coming in and watching this fabulous tutorial. I am going to be using a new product today. When I get you guys flipped around, we're going to go through. There's actually a sweet collection for this product. I have a moth coming in and visiting me. My little wreath up here. So if you guys missed it, I did my 12 days of Christmas crafting. You can catch all 12 days over on my blog. I actually showed you guys how to create that in my, I think it was day 12. I actually created one of those. Where is my Christmas one? I've got projects everywhere because of everything that I did, but I did show this one, but the one that I did on my 12 days of Christmas crafting, I actually did it in Christmas colors. Oh, it's hanging up right over there. Hold on, let me grab it and I'll show it to you. Yeah, here's the Christmas one that I did. And I actually decorated it and put the little word Merry on there. So that is my day 12 of my 12 days of Christmas crafting. I just don't have anywhere to hang it over here. Maybe I'll just set it right here on this. And then I'll have to hang it back up over there. So do you guys have anything exciting coming up before Christmas or on Christmas? I know we've got some busy appointments, medical appointments coming up for my daughter, because she is going to be having surgery in January, and it's a pretty like extensive surgery. So we have a lot of things that we have to do in preparation for that. She goes in tomorrow. She has to go in and go to look at a new car seat for her. Even though she is 16, she's still tiny and has to still be in a car seat, and especially because she can't like control her posture very well. And again, that's kind of why we're having the surgery, is because she can't sit up straight. And so we go in tomorrow to look at different options for car seats. And the other thing that we're kind of more concerned about is us being able to get her in and out of the car. I do not have a wheelchair accessible vehicle because they are a small fortune, and I just don't have the funds for that right now. And I'm not ready to go down that route yet. I'm really not. So we do have a minivan, but we put her wheelchair in the back seat, or in the back of the minivan. I lay the back seats down, and then she just sits in the second row of seats. And normally when we go into town or she has an appointment, one of the family members has to sit in the back seat with her, because she can't be back there by herself because of her seizure activity. And so we are actually kind of the car seat that somebody had recommended for us. One of my daughter's physical therapists has told us about is one that actually swivels. So she's kind of in, if you can remember when your kids were like around 5-ish or so and they were in the booster seats, that's kind of what she has to be in. Because of her height, she's not tall enough to be in a regular seatbelt, and she would slide out of a regular seatbelt anyways. So the car seat that we're like in particular that we're really wanting to look at, it actually swivels because right now the seat that she has is really hard to get her in and out of, and especially since she is getting heavier, it's really taking a toll, especially on me, trying to pick her up and down in and out of the car, and lifting her up and then trying to turn her is really hurting my back a lot. And obviously I'm not going to get any younger, so no matter what I do, I really have to watch my back so I don't get injured. So this new car seat, you would actually put her straight into it because she would be like facing the door because it swivels, and then once you put her in it, it would swivel and then spin, so then she would be angled, you know, with the normal seat of the car. So that seems a lot better, but we'll be trying quite a few of them out tomorrow. So there's that. And then on Wednesday, she has to go in and have CT scans at 6:30 in the morning. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say CT scans are no big deal, whatever, you know, you're in and you're out. Well, it doesn't always work that way with my child because of her condition that she has and her disability, she has to actually be sedated for a CT scan. I know, a short little 10-minute CT scan, we have to go through all these extra steps in order just to have a CT scan. So she's actually having 2 CT scans done, and they're actually ordered from her Scully doctor, who is actually doing the surgery. So he wants the right now, what it looks like, where we're at as far as curvature, and then he's going to send those off to, I think he said Sweden, and then they will actually 3D print her spine and then send it back to him, and then he's going to actually do the procedure on this 3D printed spine. So then on the day of her surgery, he's got it already mapped out for him, and the puzzle pieces will just fit all together right into her back. So that's kind of what is going on. Then we've got pre-op and all this kind of stuff that we have to go to. There's other, what else did she say that we had to go have? I don't know what it was, but it's just one thing after another. I'm trying to remember what orthopedic surgeon, that is what he is. Golly, see, this is where I'm saying the ADD. I've got a million things running through my mind, but my mouth can only keep up with so much of it. That's it. So that is kind of what we're doing. My son just told me that his girlfriend will be here during Christmas this year. So I have to go. So tomorrow when we're out, we have to go grab a stocking because I got stocking stuffers, but I haven't bought the stocking for her yet. And so I've got to go run and do that. So it's just kind of, it's busy time of the year. So it makes me wonder, well, no wonder why I didn't get Christmas cards out in time, because there's a million other things on my brain. So they are out in the mail. They are on their happy little way. And, I will be so happy. I know I've started getting Christmas cards in. I'm going to hold on to them until I have them all so I can share them all at one time with you guys. So I'm going to flip you guys around. We've got lots of things to kind of cover, new product to share with you. I actually have the product of the month. I actually just got my big brown truck. Actually just brought my delivery today. So I'm going to be sharing this. We're going to open it up together. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it, but if not, you're going to get a good peek at this. So the way product of the month works, this is brand new for the month of December, that when you place an order of, what is it, $75? Yep, $75 or more, you can actually add this to your order for only $5. So you know that our designer series paper is typically around like 12 or so dollars. So you're going to get this for $5. Isn't that fantastic? And it's all exclusive. So once this sells out, it's gone. You won't be able to get it again. So we're going to definitely show this to you. And it's got these beautiful blues in there. And I've not seen this pack either because it's not even open yet. So we're going to get a sneak peek together. All right, you guys, hold tight. Let me get you guys flipped around here. And we are going to get into some of this new product to show you, and then straight into the beautiful cards that we're going to be creating today. Okay, I think that looks okay there. I think we can see everything. So let's open up the product of the month. Now this is called True Blue Florals. Okay, let's get this open here. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Linda. Hello, hello, Kimberly. Welcome in, you guys. Nice to see you. There's my other friend, Linda, is in here. We have got, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get this. Did I miss anybody? Kind of just quickly running through there. So let's get this open. So you get 2 sheets of each. Oh, this blue is just beautiful. Now, I'm trying to think, is that, no, not even close. Let me see, what are the, I've got it on here. What are the blues in this? You've got Balmy Blue and Night of Navy. That's what that blue is, Balmy Blue. So isn't that beautiful? Then we've got this print with the, I like that they do more of a white print on the back. And then we've got that one. Oh, that is gorgeous. If you like blues, you're going to be in love with this paper. Now, don't wait on this. Make sure you get your order in and you get your pack because, like I said, once she's gone, she's gone. And then you've got those two. Oh, just gorgeous. So I wanted to definitely make sure you guys saw that because I know it's a little bit hard to see online. There is another pack of paper that I'm going to share with you guys just because, again, my mom actually purchased it. I completely missed it. And I'm glad she got it because I would never know that it is actually just as beautiful as it is. So let me find that one. It is actually going to be coming up in our, we have a new online exclusives pre-order coming up in January. This actually starts the same time as our catalog. So this is going to be starting on January 6th. So I can't show you the inside of these yet, not until they go live, but I am going to show you a couple of the products that I went ahead and pre-ordered from the online exclusives. So this paper right here, this is called Splash of Sparkles. And look at the colors. Does this not scream spring to you? Now I had, by looking at this on the website, because we're in the middle of a pre-order right now, I had no idea that it had the gold foiling in there. but it's like beautiful washed color, watercolor wash on this of those different kind of rainbow colors, but it is absolutely stunning. Then you've got kind of that bubbles on the back. Here's another one that has that foiling in there. You've got the foiled side, and then you've got the back side of it here that has the more of the matte finish to it. I'm trying to grab these so you can see them as I go. This is probably my favorite, and of course you guys know why. But as you can see, these ones are all gold. So the first three that I showed you have gold in them. Now the next three that I'm going to show you is this. It's like a silver holographic in these. As you can see down here, see how these colors are showing like the rainbow? It's because it's a holographic foil on those ones. And this one is the same way. It's that silver holographic in there. And then you've got the green and blue stripes on the back. And then look at this. You know what it really reminds me of, to be honest with you? It reminds me of kind of the clothes that we used to wear back in the 80s or early 90s. How we used to wear like the flashy parachute pants with the kind of fitness shirts that had like this foiling on it. It totally reminds me of that. Same with like the zigzags. So there is that. I wanted to make sure you guys definitely saw that. Make sure you put that on your wish list for when that new product goes live. I've also got a couple of stamp sets that I went ahead and ordered from that online exclusive coming up in January. This is all about Mother's Day and Father's Day. So this is just a stamp set, no dies that go with this. But there are plenty of dies that you probably already have in your stash that you can go ahead and do this. I love these big words where you can just say happy, you know, Father's Day, happy Mother's Day. And then you've got it a little bit smaller, but then you've got the two different fonts in that. And again, these are going to be all photopolymer. Stampin' Up! Has done away with their red rubber, so just know they're all photopolymer. I have been, oh my Lord, waiting for a fantastic good luck St. Patrick's Day set, and they have done it this year. I am in love with this. I had to snatch this right away. Good luck, your gold. Lucky to be friends. You've got the little pot with the gold. Can you only imagine stamping this in our garden green and then doing the gold in the embossing? Oh, just so fabulous. I love this set. Like I said, I've been waiting for years for a great all St. Patrick's Day. And it's not that I really send out St. Patrick's Day cards, but they're always fun to do for the holidays. So make sure you take a little jot on those. Those are family ties and good luck. So you'll make sure you'll look at those in January. Now, a few more sets that I have gotten out of the catalog. So last week I showed you guys the which one, that Valentine's Day set, and then the Cute as a Bug. Now here's, let me move these because I can't show it all to you at once, so I don't know why I grabbed both of these. So this is a super cute set coming up for Easter. I love, 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 love these. These are called the Easter Assortment. I actually was opening these up and showing them to my daughter. Look at, they look like little Easter eggs, and they're little pink and white checkered. They're just adorable. Then you've got yellow and the blue in there. Aren't those so cute? Great. And they're thin, so they're not a lot of bulk, but they are kind of like that foam that sits kind of flat. And of course, I'm not going to be able to get those back in there right now. Figures. Then we've got the Easter basket. This is a photopolymer stamp set. Happy Easter. Easter's on its way. Hello, spring for you. Look at how cute these little bunnies are. You've got a little tulip, the carrot, the egg, and the little chickie over here. Just adorable. And then you've got the dies that coordinate with it. This basket, this was kind of my selling point, or these little, because at first it was taking me a minute to go, what are all those little stripes for? But you can actually take these stripes and weave them in and out of the basket, because these little lines actually cut apart where you can weave those in and out of there and make that super cute traditional like little Easter basket with this in all different colors and those pastels that you love so much and just remind you of the Easter. You actually have a tulip. You've got the flowers that coordinate with the flowers here. Super, super cute dies. And the grass. Can you imagine putting the little grass out of here with the little eggs in that basket? Yeah, super duper cute. Now this paper is called the Easter Joy specialty paper, because again, it's kind of like that one that I just showed you. It's going to have the foils on it. So on here, you can see that the little flowers that are here have that foiling going on in it. Hopefully you can see. I'll try to turn it to get the angle correct. Okay, and then the back side is some of the green and blue gingham. Then we've got the stripes that are also in some of that foiling. This actually has little Easter eggs and the little flowers in it. Super, super cute on that side of this here. Look how cool. Look at this little right here. It's like a total little scene on its own where you could put the little rabbit on there with the little Easter basket. There's little carrots on this one. So this will give you 6 different borders, but remember you've got 2 sides or 2 sheets of this. So you actually will have 12 of those to go ahead and already have the backgrounds for your cards. This one's got some really cute, and this is thick cardstock. This is no joke right here. This is not like your standard cardstock. This is really thick. Then you've got the flowers on that. And then another crumb cake piece here with your little Easter eggs that have that foiling going on. So that is just adorable. What a cute little Easter set there, along with those little Easter egg dies. Let me playing Jenga over here, stacking all this stuff up. Then we've got this one here. Again, that Easter one, and this is the sweet collection called Walk. What was this called? Nature's Walk. So let me show you the paper of this one. So this one actually has a specialty paper that comes with this. This is called the Natural Hues Textured Specialty Paper. So it comes in 3 different colors here. And as you can see, it does have a grainy-like texture to it. Very natural kind of earth tone look to that. Then we've got the paper, the Nature's Walk paper. This paper is gorgeous. I think they really went with like more of the blues and greens this year. It seems like on a lot of these papers, I'm definitely seeing the blue tones in a lot of them. So this is one side, and then you've got the Secret Sea on the other side. That reminds me of the ocean. Look at that pretty peacock. Oh. Masculine cards. Oh my Lord. This paper just screams masculine cards. I can see a lot of Father's Day cards coming out of this pack. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, that is called Nature's Walk. And then, ooh, as I'm throwing papers around everywhere. Then it has the dies and the stamps. You've got, I like you lots, to a great guy, you make me smile, thank you, and then some texture down here. And then you've got these really cool, big, huge, florally images. And then with the dies, you've got more texture going on. Look at this, it looks like a piece of wood with some of the big floral images, dies, and you've got the floral die here, or the leaf die here. Some of that foliage. Then it has, now these guys are heavy, so just know that when you go to mail, you don't want to put too many of these on your paper and on your card, because these are kind of heavy, but these are called the fake bronze pentagons. Aren't those cool? Then we've got this Secret Sea, a new ribbon here. If I can, my eyeballs are playing tricks on me. I keep thinking I'm under that wrap. Now this is kind of like that sheer. Now what are they calling this? They're calling this the bordered open weave ribbon. Words are hard, sorry. And this is very, very, you know, pliable. It can definitely make some great bows, not stiff at all, but then you can see through that and it'll be just gorgeous on that paper. So that again is called the bordered open weave ribbon in the Secret Sea. Okay, so that is some of the new product that I wanted to share with you guys that we have just recently got in. I think that's, is that what I, yep, I think that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And then, all right, so the product of the month, we already went through that. You guys are definitely going to want to grab that. We do have mystery stamping coming up on the 17th over on my Facebook group, over on Pink Barn Stampers group. Make sure you are a part of that. It is my private group that we do mystery stamping, and you can win a great prize in that. If you want to know more about mystery stamping, you can actually go to my blog, pinkbarnstamper.com, and mystery stamping, just scroll down a little bit, or over on the right hand side there's a categories, click mystery stamping, and you'll see the December's mystery stamping coming up, and you'll see the supplies that you're going to need to grab as well. So January starts a new quarter for our paper pumpkin. So right here you can see that this is going to be our January paper pumpkin. Look at the flowers on here, and look, they're kind of giving you a little sneak peek of some stamps. This says, send heartfelt Valentines featuring sweet postage stamp designs and sentiments for love and friendship. This is going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs, 3 different coordinating envelope designs, pre-cut paper pieces with gold foil accents. And it says, kit arrives in a lovely coordinating box. So I love when they give you the coordinating boxes to go with that. We also have a new coordinating die set that's going to go with this quarter. So this is called the Beautiful Blooms dies. So as you can kind of see on this, we have one for Easter, and then we have the March kit. And remember, the March kit typically always has a additional free stamp set in it. And it actually says that right here, free additional stamp set that's going to be included. So you're going to get actually 2 different stamp sets in with this March Fluttering Garden. So it's a good time to make sure you get these this quarter and make sure you grab that add-on as well, because you're going to get a big die that does those postage stamps. You're going to get the big word beautiful, and it's a all one word there, die. And then you're going to get some tulips. So very, very cool. Now that is an all-in-one kit that shows up right at your mailbox, and you can create those things right in the leisure of your home. So those can also be found on shopdannygarola.com is where you're going to find my online store to purchase any of the fun product that I've been sharing with you. So we released a new line of our online exclusives back in November. So that is what I'm going to be playing with today. I'm going to be sharing with you guys. It is this one right here. It is called the Hobby Haven Suite Collection, or it's the Creative Haven bundle. So you can pick and choose what you want to purchase out of this whole little suite collection here. So with this, we have got some fabulous paper. I've shared the paper with you guys a little bit in the couple weeks ago. You've got some like kitchen, sewing, coffee. So here's the book one. And of course I'm using this tonight. Love the books. And then on the back side, you get this really cool, like abstract design on the back. Then you've got one that is all about kind of spa day. And then the back side of that. You know, what's kind of funny is when I was showing this paper to my son, he goes, "Oh my gosh, that looks like a burrito. Why would there be a burrito at the spa?" I said, "Son, that is how they roll up their towels." He goes, "Well, I guess I'm not bougie enough to know what the spa's like." I said, "Well, maybe one day you'll have to treat yourself to the spa." Here is all things kitchen. So you've got your blender, your colander, your coffee press there. So just very, very fun. Here's your open little cookbook. And then that is what the back side of that looks like. Here is our sewing. Now I've already cut some of this paper off, but you've got the sewing, your yarn for knitting or crocheting. You've even got some knitting needles here, painting. You've got an iron, the sewing machine, and then the back side of that. And then look at this fabulous one right here. This one has got, now some people might say this reminds them of like the garden or sitting, just enjoying their flowers. Now I can see myself sitting in one of these cozy recliners or chairs with a good Kindle book and my cup of coffee, and that would just totally be my jam around all those flowers, giving you that fresh breath of air that you may need. Now, with this paper, it also comes with 2 sheets of the cutout dies. So these have already started falling out of here, so I'm not going to take it too far out of there. But as you can see, are 2 full sheets of these here. You've got, they've all pop right out of here, so they're already laser cut for you, but you've got the sewing machine, you've got some coffee cups on there. What else do we have? We've got a, I don't know what this is called, but I'm sure one of you guys will chime in and let me know. The form, like the sewing form. Oh, I was just reading. I was like, wait a minute, you lost your crown. What are you talking about? Now I see what you're saying. How funny. I was like, crown? Well, and see, and the reason why that kind of like struck me odd is because me and my husband are you guys already know this. We are a huge Fortnite. It's a video game for those of you who don't know. We play Fortnite. Well, when you win the match that you're playing, you get a crown. So when you said that, I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Are you talking about losing your crown in Fortnite? But now I see what you're saying. It took me a minute. You've got some green plants in here. I love the apron for the kitchen. So just really, really fun. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it for you. These are already pre-cut. So you just have to lay some paper down, stack some of these on top of each other, and make a really, really cute card. Now let me show you guys the stamps and dies that go with this. So this is the Creative Haven bundle. You're the best. Friends like you are golden. Deep breath. You've got this. So happy to have you in my life. You deserve all the good things. Such wonderful sentiments in this. And I'm sorry, I keep holding that way too high up there. I'm used to going way out here and I forgot that I pulled my camera up. So this is, I love the whimsical little like decorations that you also stamp in these. It's just really, really cool. And then you've got the matching dies that go with each one of the stamps. So as you can see, this one kind of looks like a banner. Well, you've got the banner that cuts that right out for you. So this stamp fits perfectly on your images. You've got some tags in here, and then you can make your own tags if you wanted to out of some of these other ones. And then just a couple of little leaf flourishes here as well. And then we've got this is called the Earthy Matte Dots. And we've got the Garden Green and White. This is called, gotta try to find English here, Chevron Ribbon. And again, very, very pliable to play with. And I like that it's kind of thin, makes great little bows. We're gonna actually be playing with this tonight as well. Okay, so let's get into tonight's class. These are the cards that we're going to be creating. I am going to change a few things up on my cards because as I've kind of looked at them as I was just kind of putting my kits together for this, I was like, you know, I think I want to do this and that. So here you guys can see the like first model of them, and then we will go ahead and, you know, dress them up if we need to. So as it works when you guys shop in my store and you spend $35 or more, you're going to go ahead and get this little thank you kit from me in the mail. It's going to give you all the paper that you need to go ahead and create these fabulous cards. You are going to need the intended bundle. And this time you will need to have the paper because I am using a couple of these little die cuts and I don't have enough of these to send in all my kits when you guys shop with me weekly. So you are going to have to use this, or you could even take, you know, the paper and cut some of the images out of that if you want to go that route. But I will show you as we're playing with this. And that paper is called the Hobby Haven 12 by 12 paper. Okay, so let's get our kits out here. And so this week, this is going to run from starting today, which is December 15th, through the 21st, which is Sunday. We do have a couple of birthdays that I want to give shout outs to before I get going on this. We have got yesterday, the 14th, we have Bonnie Jones. Happy birthday. Today we've got Sheila Fisher. Happy birthday to you. And on Saturday, the 20th, we've got Peggy Welsh. Happy birthday, you guys. Enjoy your week before Christmas birthdays. I hope you guys do something special to set your special days aside from the holidays. Okay, so let's go ahead and start card number 1. I'm going to go ahead and start with this one here. So let me pull out all my pieces that we're going to need. And while I have that sitting there, it's going to be good for you guys to see the different things that I wind up changing on the card as well. Here is my inside piece. I'm going to set that aside. Oh, is that how you get the crowns, is by the more comments? So definitely come in and make sure you comment. Make sure you hit that like button. Throw me up a thumb. That also helps with your interaction on there. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. So with this base, this is a base of Petal Pink. This is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and score it at 4.25 to give us a standard A2 card base, just like so. Okay, then we've got a piece of Pretty Peacock, a piece of Basic White. Now, let me tell you the measurements of these. I will have all the measurements over on my blog tomorrow. This one is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. This is 4.5 by 3 1/4. Okay, that's gonna go like that. We've got a couple scraps of garden green here because that's where I was gonna change things up a little bit, but just show you that you can use the little die cuts. I kind of just slid that behind there because then you can kind of move it around, decide where you want it. But that's just one of those little die cuts from that paper. It can just slide right under your sentiment. You're gonna want to make sure you adhere yours down, but just that you can add a little bit more to your card without having to take it to the dies. But I'm gonna die cut a couple of pieces to add to mine. I've also got a piece of the chair with the flowers. This is 2 by 3. And then I've taken some of the back of those really cute papers, and I've got, these are 1 by 3. So those are gonna go on like so. Then we've got this piece of strip of white that we're gonna do our sentiment on. And then again, with that garden green, we're gonna go ahead and die cut some of the little flower, the little leaf images out of there. So let's go ahead and adhere this first. I think I might have to grab another glue. I think this glue is about done for. It's starting to feel pretty light. Okay, there's that. I'm going to take, now depending on where you cut your paper, when you're cutting your 2-inch strips and then you go to cut your 3-inch piece, you can get different looks of this. This one I cut where I got the chair and the flowers. This one, I love this big potted plant here, so I wanted that to kind of be more of the focal on this one. Okay, then we've got the more of the blues here. I think this might actually be that color Summer Splash. I think that's the name of that. It says we've got Basic Beige, Cajun Craze, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, and Secret Sea. So that color there has got to be our Coastal Cabana. That's what that blue is. Okay, then our little strip that has the petal pink in it. Okay, like that. That looks pretty lined up. A dress form. That's what that image is called. Yep, a dress form. That's right. I knew it was some kind of form. I just wasn't sure. I remember seeing them like in like old time sewing shops that we've stopped and gone into. Okay, so that's gonna go there. So what I'm gonna do with my little garden green. Now I have to tell you guys, these new cases are actually kind of growing on me. I think I'm kind of digging them, to be honest with you. They seem to be a little bit easier. Now I was thinking what I might do, that because they don't have the ends on them that we can see what they are, I think I might actually put some tabs in my, when I store these, I might put a little tab at the top, you know, just like a binder tab. and then write what it is. So then when they're sitting up inside of there, then I can just see what the tab says. And then every tab I might move over a little bit more, almost like when you have subjects in a binder, you know how they kind of trickle down. I might put something like that on there and then just have them kind of shuffle back as they go. Then I can see what the die cut and the stamps are. I think I'm going to probably store them together. And then when I put that on there, then I'll know what ones they are. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like working it out in my head, what is going to be easiest as far as storage wise for those, but I'm really not hating the new cases. Not that I really have much of an option anyways, but you know, instead of hating the process, I feel like I just need to accept the process and learn to love it. So that's what I'm kind of embracing it. Okay, let's go ahead and die cut this out of the garden green. Oops, it got stuck. So let's take that. You know what? I thought I already die cut one of these. Did I not? Maybe not. I don't know. Is it in my envelope? I thought I die cut one earlier. Apparently not. Who knows? Losing my marbles. Worse things have happened. Okay, so I don't know why I put those dies away. I'm gonna need those out. So then I think once I get this on here, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this piece up. Ooh, I didn't think about the ribbon being used with St. Patrick's Day cards. Ah ha ha ha. Well, dual purpose. I love it. You're right. Let me see. Because it does have that garden green. Oh, look at you. Perfect. Yep, I agree. That is definitely a St. Patrick's Day kind of ribbon. Okay, so there is that. Now, I think I'm going to cut this down. I think this is awfully wide. So I think I'm going to cut this down to about a 1/2 inch. Okay, and I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock. And I'm gonna grab the You Deserve All the Good Things stamp. Oh, yikers. I'm gonna do this kind of over closer to the right, because then I can cut off any excess off of that. And I think I'm going to go about right there. And then with this piece, well, if I can hang on to it, I'll just tuck that kind of underneath there. I like that. I like that green on there. Yep, that works pretty good. And then we'll go ahead and do another bow. So let me add a mini dimensional right over here to the side, because that's going to actually go there. And then I'll just put a little bit of adhesive down here.
maybe. There we go. So I'm gonna have that go about right there. You know what? I want to cut just a little bit off. This seems like it's just a little bit too long over here. I want to leave just a little bit to be able to put the ribbon there to tie a little bow. Flip this over, cut that back side off. This is where I can tuck this, or I could do it over the top. I mean, you've got lots of options with this. That's why I only put glue down here. So then you can kind of just slide this around and see where you like it. Kind of like so. I kind of like it over the top, honestly. Kind of takes up some of that white space there. So maybe I'll go over the top of that. And then with that ribbon, I'm just gonna come in and just tie a little tiny bow. You know what else I found is because these things, they have like little chevron marks. They almost look like little hearts, and you always get a perfect one right in the middle of your knot. I don't know how it works out perfectly. Maybe it's because they're so close together that I just thought, huh, that's kind of cute. I think I'm gonna go just a tiny bit smaller with that. I'm gonna grab a mini glue dot and add this. And then I'm gonna flop that right on that bottom corner there of that little sentiment strip. You know what? I think I'm gonna die cut the other one also and see what I think about that one. I think, well, geez Louise, maybe. Let me die cut this one and we'll see what we think about it. Then we've got options. I think I might like that just a tad better. Is that too much if we do both? I think I'm just gonna go with this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the back of this. I'm just gonna pop that up right here, and I'm gonna leave this part kind of just freestanding there. And then let's go ahead and put an inside to this. All right, there's that. Let's look for a sentiment for in that. You deserve all the good things. I think maybe you're the best might be kind of cool in there. We'll do you're the best. And I think I'm going to stamp that again in our pretty peacock. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, it took me a minute to try to figure out what you were talking about with the Velcro. I see what you're saying. On like the top right here, you're putting like the little round Velcro. I know they sell it, it's clear. And then you're just matching it up on this side. That is a brilliant idea. I really like that because I do get what you're saying, that it's kind of a pain in the butt trying to push those back down in there. Like when you slide this back. Ugh. Let me show you kind of what she is saying there. So when you slide your piece back in, and then you've got to kind of try to fumble with this to try to find the slot. Yeah, see? What she has been doing is she is taking a little Velcro and just Velcroing that to the back, and then just pulling the Velcro off. That's kind of genius. I might have to take your idea and use that. I like that. Okay, so you're the best. Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Okay, let's go ahead and add that to the inside. All right, I think that turned out so just simple but elegant at the same time. I like that. Let's see what we want to put on. We've got some green sparkle here. You know what? I think we actually need some pretty peacock. Now, I don't know if we have any. There's pretty peacock and some of that, but then it's like, do I want to go away from that green? Those are kind of cool. Let's use those just because they bring out the like coastal cabana and the green. And I don't think I've ever used these before. I think this might be a brand new pack. These are called holographic resin dots. I don't even know if these are still, let me look really quick before I tell you, hey, go to the store and buy these fabulous little things. Let me tell you if we still even have them, unless one of you guys can chime in and say, nope, those are discontinued. No, we still have those. That's rad. Yep, these are still available. Sweet. Yeah, these go really well with this set, actually. So I think we're gonna do, let's get this out of the way. I think I want that one right there. Let's grab a big one. Let's put that there, and then we're gonna grab a medium one. We'll pop that right up over. Kind of want it in, there we go. Oh yeah, those look really good with this. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm digging it. So those again are called the holographic resin dots. So I'm gonna set those aside because we might actually need to use those again. So there is card number 1. So there you can see the 2 different that I did. Though I'm gonna have to say that those little resin dots really kind of pop things up. And I do like that green piece versus the die cut. But just so you could get like a quick card out and made, you could do it this way. But those really add a huge pop to these cards. Let me hold that up so you can kind of see it a little bit better. That those resin dots really kind of give it some oomph. All All right, so that is card number 1. Okay, card number 2. I actually got this idea off of the website, Stampin' Up's website, when you go and you look at the Creative Haven bundle. They actually have a little gift box on there that they've kind of done this, kind of the same idea to it, but I went ahead and turned that idea into a card. So that's where this idea came from. Let's pull out all of our pieces here. Okay, there's my inside. I'm going to set that up there. Our card base is Lost Lagoon, 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score this at 4 1/4. Whoops. Let's get that out of there. We're not going to cut it. We're going to score it. Now I have went ahead and measured 4 1/4 by, I believe I cut this down to 2.5. This is the Spa Day backside of that paper. That's gonna go in the center, but before I do that, I'm gonna grab, in this stamp set, you've got this small little stamp of little like twinkle stars. We're gonna actually use Lost Lagoon. I'm going to take that off for a moment, and I'm going to actually grab, because I'm going to be going off the sides of this card, I'm going to start in the top corner and just kind of flip this around back and forth and just take it and go straight down from corner to corner, just like that. Now, I didn't go straight and I didn't try to go straight. I mean, I'm kind of all over the place there, and that's absolutely what I want. Now, with that piece, I'm going to go ahead and adhere that on there. Okay, that's gonna go just like so. Now, another little die cut piece that's in here is down here, you've got these you've got these bottles. There are about 7 of them down here. It's all one die piece there. Let me see if I can get this out of here without, just so I can show you exactly what I did. Now, what I did with this is I took, here's my other card. So I took my snips and I cut right up in between this little tube and this bottle, and I just kind of followed around the curve to give me these 2 pieces separated. Now, see, you can't even really tell that I cut those apart, but I did. As you can see, that's all one piece there. But then that'll give me 4 cards instead of just 2 cards. So I'm gonna use that 3 over there, and then I'm gonna put the 4 on this one. But what I want to do first is I have a piece of, this is Old Olive, and I'm gonna use the die that has this banner right here. But I want this banner a little bit longer. As you can see, when I hold this up to this, it's quite a bit shorter, right? I want it like longer, so I'm gonna show you how we're going to cut that to make that just a bit longer. Let me move this stuff out of the way so I can bring in my die cutting machine. This is my arm exercise on Mondays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it over where my like cutting edge is face down on that. And I'm going to go up towards the top of that. When I lay that down, I'm going to take my cutting plate and lay that on top of it. Now, when I go in, I'm going to stop about right here or so. I'm just going to stop before I get to the banner part because I want to not cut that because we're going to cut it down here. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this through and stop about right there because my roller is about in the center of this. So that looks good. And then I'm going to bring that back out. So then I'll show you that I only have the top part cut. Can you see that? Only the top part of that is cut out. It did not cut any of that banner. So now I'm going to line this back up on here. Now, if I want to, well, I don't think it's going to work that way. I'm going to line that up and I'm going to push that in where it fits into the channel of this already pre-cut piece that we've just cut out. And hold that in there. It's going to fit kind of tight because it knows where it needs to be. So then I'm going to get a piece of tape. And I'm just using my low tack tape here, if I can get it to tear. Knowing that that's in there, and then push that down on that like so. Now, when I go to do this, I'm going to flip this around and I'm going to go in. And again, I don't want to cut this because this has already been cut. I'm giving myself that extra length of this banner. I pretty much just need to cut this bottom portion up to where I've already cut. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to stop about right there because I don't want this line to cut. So then I'm going to come back out with it. Now that's going to give me that longer banner, but it did not cut anywhere off that top part. So I just created myself quite a bit longer banner. Now it looks like I didn't cut all the way on this one side. I must have had it crooked in there. I'm just gonna take my snips and I'm just gonna bring that up and just cut right along there just like so. So then you don't even know. But look at that. I added about another inch onto that to give myself the length that I needed. So you can do that pretty much with any of the banner dies that we have. I mean, actually any die. If you want to make them longer or shorter, you can just take it and cut it where you need it. Make them work for you. You're the boss, not them. You make it work for you. Okay, so I'm good with that piece. I was gonna say, where did I just put everything? All right, so now we've got my card, we've got our inside. So now what I wanna do with this white piece here is I'm gonna actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut the larger, so you have two different size dies here for these little tags. I'm going to use the larger of the two. No, I'm not. I'm going to use the smaller of the two. I fibbed. So the smaller of the two is what I want. Yep, because then that'll fit right inside of that banner. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to cut it really quick over here. I should have die cut it while I had my machine over, but I didn't. So then we can poke our little topper out there. And then, yep, that fits perfectly on there. Now, if you wanted to, like I said, you have these little dots on here that would cut a hole out of this as well if you wanted those to line up. But I'm not going to have my ribbon go all the way through it, so I don't need to worry about doing that. But just to let you know, if you wanted to make both of these tags, you could cut that circle out of this banner as well and be able to run your ribbon completely through that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my banner and adhere that on there. Okay. Just like so. On here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp "You're the best." So let me clean this since we just used that. Look what I finally took in the house and kind of brought back to life. Do you guys remember when I tried to use this and it was hard and stiff as a rock? I just went in there and ran it under some water and gave it a good rinse, and she's back to performance again. Perfect performance. All right, we're going to use early espresso. Stamp that on there. Give it a second to marinate. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to set that aside because while we're stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside of this one. So that says "You're the best," and it has these really cute little flourishes in it. I thought it went really well with "Friends Like You Are Golden." So on my inside here, I'm trying to get that lined up just like so. And then you're kind of bringing that banner design on the inside as well as the outside of your card, because you've got the banner in the old olive. And did I tell you guys the length or the size of what this was? I probably didn't. Now this is 2.5 by 4 3/4 was that piece that I cut that out of. Okay, there's that. Let me close this so I don't get my fingers in anything. Now bringing those stars back in along with my Lost Lagoon. I'm going to stamp those stars. Again, just going across that, but not down the center. That's why I waited, because I didn't want those stars to be behind that big stamp. That probably wouldn't look all that great. There is a hair on me and I can feel it running down the back of my arm. Ooh. Gives me the heebies. Okay, that is then. I had where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to take this. No, I'm not. I don't want that on there. I don't like it. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside. I'm going to have to go back and read what you guys are saying, because it looks like you guys are having quite the conversation here. Woohoo! Linda got her crown back. There's that. Now back to this front side, we are gonna go ahead and grab some dimensionals. Now I am gonna take a mini dimensional and I'm gonna put it right where that little open circle is. It's gonna close that, but that's okay because when I go to push the bow down through that, I'm gonna use a mini glue dot and it will just all kind of adhere together, being double reinforced, I guess you might say. And that I'm gonna put right like so. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and tie another one of those little bows. How's your guys' weather been? It's been so warm here, and I'm not saying that to like brag. I hate it. I want it to be cold. I'm so ready. We just had our propane tank filled up. We were at about 40%, and I'm like, well, yeah, because we haven't had to run the heater at all this year. It has been so warm. Well, I guess we did a little bit. Like one day, I think I ran the heater for just a short period of time, but nothing like you guys are having to do. Unless you have wood burning stoves, and that would be fantastic. But kind of unnecessary here this time of year. It's just kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. I want that tucked underneath. I don't know what, you know what? I'm gonna redo it because that is just, sometimes bows can be challenging. I thought I've finally figured it out over the years of doing this for God knows how many years, and I still struggle with bows. There we go. That's better. Third time's a charm, right? Okay, again, grabbing that mini glue dot. Oh, are you guys talking about my plethora of mess here? I heard somebody saying being a tidy crafter. Yeah, that ain't me. My husband, I swear, he goes nuts when we try to go live on our Fridays when we do our cocktails and cards. His OCD, I drive him bananas because I'm just like, yep, it's everywhere. And if you touch it, I might break your fingers. Because he's like, is it time to move it? And he starts moving my stuff. And I'm like, you know what, bro? We can go to your desk. Don't start moving the stuff at my desk because I will never find it, especially if I let him try to clean. Oh, God, no. That would be disastrous. So that's what I tell him. I go, nope, I don't go over and touch your desk. You don't come over here and touch mine. Regardless how crazy it might make you, keep your fingers off my stuff. Told him, I said, I go, you don't have a problem finding the things that you need, right? Well, no. I go, okay, well then they're obviously where they need to be because they can be found. Okay, so now with these little bottles, ooh, I like that this one has more browns in it. See, on this one, it has more of the greens to it. This one's got more of the brown where it actually looks really good with that sentiment. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. Yeah, me too. That's why I bought a bow jig or a, whatever you want to call it. I think they call them bow jigs. That's why I had to buy one of these because I have been forever and a day bow challenged. I really am. And it's just a thing. And so I had to embrace it and buy another crafting tool to help me out because it was awful. Okay, so I'm gonna take these little bottles and I'm just gonna put it right like so. And then to wrap this up, we can bring in some of those. Now, the thing that kind of like caught me off guard is that these earthy matte dots went with this sweet collection, but where did this blue come from? This is not a blue that's really in like much of this. When I'm looking through this, this blue only goes with one thing. Like, I'm a little bit like taken back why this blue was the color that they chose for some of the embellishments. I wish there was some Coastal Cabana. That would probably be better. Or some garden green because of the florals that they have in, or the leafy parts that they have in here. Or even Secret Sea. And then with this like red, there's not a whole heck of a lot of red in this that I don't know why those colors were chosen, but whatever. But I kept wanting to use these, and I did go ahead and use the early espresso ones because it kind of just went with that. But I even had to go back and be like, hey, are these really the, oh, no, that's not the right one. The right embellishments that went with this. Here it is. Because I thought, well, God, they would really kind of go maybe good with the cupcake or the cake one, but, or even this, let's explore this outdoor adventure bundle. It would probably go really well with that. Where is it now? But no, earthy matte dots is the ones that they chose to go with this Hobby Haven. So I haven't used any of the red. And I haven't used any of the blue because I just didn't feel that they went with this. Again, those would be fabulous with this, but I guess to kind of keep the whole suite kind of going together here, I'm going to go ahead and use some of those early espresso ones again on this because I did choose to use the early espresso in the sentiment. So we can go ahead and keep that kind of theme going along here. There we go. We'll just go like that. Now, you could take this. This is where I wanted to make sure I cut out this other little thing. And you could take some of these little green, maybe green is not a good color for it because you have your old olive, but you could put some different colors, maybe some pecan, maybe even white. White might be neat with some little flourishes in there, but I kind of just liked it kind of simple like this. I was kind of trying to keep these cards more on the simple, using a lot of the elements that came with this. So you can know that you don't have to have so many more other things to add to a bundle that you buy or a suite collection, that you could really make beautiful cards with just using it. So there is card number 2. So as you can see where I took those bottles and cut them apart and got 2 cards out of, you know, one little die cut there. So aren't those cute? So that is card number 2. Okay, let me get some of this kind of cleaned up a little bit. Does my mess drive you guys crazy? That's probably the better question, is my mess probably makes a lot of you guys insane because I just kind of throw stuff and then I always have to ask you guys, hey, did you see where such and such went? Because since I've thrown everything around, sometimes things get slid underneath and you can't find it all. But you know what? It always seems to come together okay. All right, so let's get down to card number 3. Oh, there's that little piece. See, I knew I had cut one of those. Here, I'll try to tidy up a little bit for you. All right, so let's move all these out of the way. And I will show you what we've used. But first, we've got this card base. This is basic white thick. And this is 11 by 4 1/4. And we're going to score this at 5.5. And this is going to be one of those landscape cards, but how it opens is going to be like this. I kind of like changing it from your standard landscape card like this one that we made, where it opens like this. It's kind of neat to have a landscape card open this way. Just kind of changes things. We also need to have a piece of basic white. Now this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I have taken a half sheet of Lost Lagoon. So a 4 1/4 by 5.5, or 8.5 by 5 1/4, full half side of a sheet. And then I cut that down to 1 3/4, all the way down to the 8.5. And so that gave me 2 of my, let me show you. Like if I had, let me use this. I think this is a half sheet right here. I'm going to just use this red because it's what I have. So I cut 2 pieces at 1 3/4, and then you have a little bit wider piece over here. So then I just stuck these 2 together so I could cut out 3 of these. So then that would give you 6. And then I can cut out 3 more for a total of 9 of these little shapes. Now this shape is this oval piece right here. So I've cut 9 of those out. So what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to take one of them. Let me bring in my other card so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to bring one of those over and lay that down. And I am going to take, I used pecan over here. I'm going to actually use Mossy Meadow. And with the stamped image, this is Deep Breath. Or, yeah, Deep Breath. I'm going to take, now I've already done it when I did that one. I'm going to take 2 pieces of my low tack tape, and I'm going to cover that sentiment up in the middle, because all I want to stamp is the 2 flourishes on the outside, because I'm going to, as you can see, heat emboss the sentiment in the center. So just like that. So I have all my flourishes in there, and make sure that's really kind of stuck down on there. I need to slide that up just a bit. And then I'm going to put that in my Mossy Meadow ink. Okay, make sure that's inked up. Now, your tape is going to be gross, and that's okay, because that just protected your sentiment in the center. So then when we line this up, now you're going to probably get my head in here, because I have to be able to see what I'm doing to line that up. Yeah, you guys get a good shot of my grays. Hold that on there. Let that marinate into that Lost Lagoon. Just like that. You get a perfect image, and then you're not getting that sentiment in there. So now we're going to do the opposite. But I'm going to give that a couple of seconds to dry, because I don't want any of my embossing powder sticking to that. We are going to bring in our little powder puff to make sure that we're not getting any of that powder stuck to my Mossy Meadow ink on that. What I can do while that's drying is I can take my white piece here and I can start lining up. So I know this one I want to be about right like so. I'm gonna use this one and move it over. I'm just gonna set these on here. I will use some grid paper in just a minute to make sure I get these on there. I think I'm gonna go like that. And then this one will be almost falling off the edge over there. Kind of like that. Okay, so once you have those where you want them, now the 9th one, you can either cut 9 of them or cut 8, and then I'll show you how to do it that way. But just to give this kind of a couple of seconds to dry, that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna bring my little powdery puff in here, make sure we've got that on that Mossy Meadow so we don't get any of our white embossing powder on that. So grabbing my Versamark, what I wanna do to this now is on those flourishy parts, I want to make sure I have those covered. So I'm going to take this and cover that like so. And then take this one and cover it that way. Where just my deep breath is exposed. Go this way and this way. So you're kind of just masking that. And then with your Versamark, you're going to come in here and ink up that sentiment. Again, pull that tape off. Okay, now this time I'm going to turn it lengthwise and then just stamp that sentiment in the center of it. Going this way. Okay. Pull that off. Beautiful. Okay, now with my white Versamark, I'm probably going to need to bring in a brush just because sometimes, no matter how dry I think that Mossy Meadow is, it still likes to stick to that. So I'm just going to kind of shuffle that around on there, tap it off. Actually, it did quite well. Just a little bit right there. Okay. Now I'm going to cover that because we don't want to heat up any of that. Bring in the heat tool. Oh, my husband would love you being his wife. You clean as you go. Yeah, no, that's not me. I've got a pile of dishes when I'm done and I throw them all in the dishwasher. I do try to make sure that if I'm cooking or doing anything like that, I try to make sure that the dishwasher is empty before I start, because then at the end I could just throw everything in the dishwasher. But it's normally not until the end when the food either goes in the oven or crock pot or whatever. While it's cooking, that's when I'll try to do the cleanup. And then I make, the family has to clean the dishes after we've eaten, because I feel that I've spent the time to cook. They can clean when we're done eating. That's what the kids get stuck doing. Okay, so now going back with these, I have 9 of them. I know I want my deep breath to go in the center there. You know, it's kind of funny. I thought that said breathe deep. Like, not deep breath. Okay, then I'm gonna grab a grid sheet really quick like. So when I line this up on there, I want it to be kind of lined up, so then I make sure I have these straight, because it's really easy to kind of make these crooked. So I just want a line to kind of base those off of when I'm laying them down. So I think I'm gonna go about like that. Okay, so I'm gonna start adhering these on here. So knowing that this one is just the end, whoops, and I move my paper. Then I want that about right like so. Okay, this one is gonna get adhered fully on. Okay, those are straight. Now, this one I know is gonna go right there. So then this one is going to go right there. Okay, and then this, I'm gonna go quite a bit over, like so. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this one. Okay. Now, this is where once you put these ones on the ends here, you're gonna have enough to cut off that you can actually use this piece over here. So let me just go ahead and add some glue right here. And I'm gonna pop that on there, keeping that all straight. And again, I'm using my grid line of where I have everything lined up. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm gonna flip this over and I'm going to cut all this extras off. And you can play with yours and decide, you know, how you want yours to look. I just like them to be staggered from each other. Okay, and like I said, knowing that this one's going to get popped up right there, I need to grab one of my ends from one of my other pieces, or you could bring in your 9th one. Now the reason why I'm not popping my other one up in here yet is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. This is where I said I'm going to change this one up. Whoops, I keep twisting that too far. There we go. All right, now let me cut this off. Now, I have changed mine now that I think I want to use one of my embossing folders over just this sheet. So now I need to pick what embossing folder I want. I think I kind of like the Gathering Leaves. That might look good, or I was deciding whether that one or the Circle Dots. What do you guys think would look better? We do have the Flourish on here, so I think maybe the leaves might look a little bit better in that. Whoops, I would probably run them this way. On that, or do you think you like the circles? What do you guys think would look better? There's the circles. The circles don't look bad. It actually kind of gives it a different look. Or throw out some suggestions, what you guys think. This one would be like that. I don't know. None of them really look bad. I just think it definitely needs something from, here's my sample one. It just looks awfully bland. And I thought I would definitely kind of add some texture to it. I think we might go, you know what? I'm just gonna go for the circles because I have not even used that embossing folder yet. So let's bring this back in. the second one better? The second one being circles or leaves? So we've got the circles, the dotted circles, or the gathering leaves. So say circles or leaves. What do you think would be better? That's what circles would look like. You can kind of see it back behind there with that. Or this is what leaves would look like. Because we've got the flourishing little swoosh on here is the leaves. Leaves, okay. All right, leaves, okay. We're gonna go with leaves. All right, let me kind of straighten this out though. All right, let's run this through our leaves die. Now this is, or not die, but our leaves embossing folder. Now this is a 3D embossing folder, so we need to take all these off. And I need to grab that in the specialty plate. And I'm gonna stick that in there with the seam going through first. Okay, just like that. And now reveal. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. Oh, that such dresses that up. Oh my Lord. Yep, I like it. Okay. So now let's pop this up. Okay, I don't need this here anymore. This is just gonna, there's too much going on with all the lines. Got a lot of that powder on there from that a powder puff. And then line that up just like so. So that one has some dimension to it. Then what I have as far as options, you can see here, I kept it clean and just put a pile of books on there. Now where I got those books from is actually from this paper. Let me find the right one and show you what I've done. Maybe. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I just cut it. I know it's sitting right there. Okay, so we've got some options here with this paper. So as you can see right here, we've got all these different books. So the one that I took is this one right here. And I just, I cut around that, I fussy cut it, and that's the one that I used. But you can see that we really don't even have to put books if you don't want to. You could just keep it clean and simple. But I thought, as some of the books that I've recently been reading, that deep breath, sometimes you need to take that in some of these books. Trust me. There's been a couple that have really kind of shook me. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I just need to take a deep breath. This one up here might be kind of fun because it does have some pink in there to kind of give it a little bit of color. We've got a stack of books. We've got one right here with like this little floral piece in it. You've got I kind of like this one. That's actually the one that I'm going to go for. I like the glasses because since I'm a glasses girl, I like the glasses on the 2 books here. But actually, you know what? I don't want that one. I want to stack, but I want to stack with a coffee cup. I've got to have my coffee and my... Nope, we're just going to go with it. We do have a coffee cup that we can add beside it. Over here, we could take... We've got a couple of books here, just to show you guys a couple of different options. We've got some books there. We've got another book here. I only need one of those. And then, oh, here it is. We've got the kind of like Starbucks cup where we could take this and have some of these. I don't like that one on there. I don't like the color of that. We could take these and kind of just stack them with our coffee cup. We could turn them and have them kind of staggered like that with our coffee cup. I mean, there's so many options that you could do here, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the glasses. I do really like that one. I should have just kept that and cut that out of there, but I just want to show you guys what you can do with different ones to give different looks. Now that it's so nice outside, I used to sit out in the hot tub. Now, here, a short little story for you. Our hot tub, the plug actually fried on it. So I'm in the middle of ordering a new, just the part that plugs into the wall, the big breaker box on it. One of the prongs actually fried. I was standing outside on the deck one day and I could hear this like sizzling sound. And I was like, what the heck is that sound? So I called my husband out, him knowing a lot of like electricity stuff. And I called him out and I go, something is making a sizzling sound. I was like, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound good. And he goes, oh, what the heck? He goes, that's something on the hot tub. So he investigated and he found that it was the actual plug frying. So the hot tub has been out of commission, but I used to take my Kindle and I have like a little thing that hooks on the side of the hot tub and I would prop my Kindle up and I would sit there and I would just read. And it was nice because you could be all nice and toasty and reading a book. And you could, I mean, because there's cup holders in it, you could actually put some coffee or hot chocolate or whatever, some tea. You know what might kind of be cute is to take like this little lamp and come up over here, but I'm not going to go that route. You know what just kind of struck me odd is they have a stack of books with candles, lit candles on the top. I highly suggest that you don't, that you don't light candles and stack on top of your books. Paper and fire, probably not a good combo. I mean, it looks kind of cute, I guess, but it looks very dangerous. Did you guys notice that? If you have this set, did you notice that there's candles sitting on a stack of books? Yeah, I highly don't advise you ever to do that. Because these actually look like real flame candles. They don't look like the ones that, look, there's even another one up there next to a plant and a candle and a stack of books. I mean, you do you, but I don't suggest you ever put your candles on top of your books. Now look, there is a little red coffee cup right here, or there's this one. I don't know. I'm going to just stick with this because I'm going to be here. We'll be here all night long if I keep, you know, going back and forth on what should be and what shouldn't be. But I think I'm just going to do the stack of books. Those are just kind of cute with the little glasses. Just kind of gives, you know, that feel that you need when you have to take a deep breath because you're reading a crazy, insane book. There are some pretty racy books out there that definitely would need to stop and just go, okay, let's regather our thoughts here. I did read one that was highly suggested by one of I follow a couple of different book groups on TikTok. And I was reading the one, I can't even remember what it's called now, but Holy Mary, Mother of God. It like shook me in my like seat. It was very, very, very sexual. I guess you wouldn't have to really put it that way. But it made me have to like put the book away for a little bit because I don't do those kind of books. That's just not my thing. And yeah, it definitely threw me for a loop. But once you got to the end, I mean, it was actually kind of sad the way that the whole book went. I'll have to remember what the name of it is and let you guys know. If you're into those kind of books, yeah, it does a number on you. I don't know. I like this little green piece and I think it needs to go somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So for now, I'm just going to take it off there because I'm just not feeling it right now. I mean, I'm feeling like it needs to go on there, but I just don't know where. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and take this piece and put quite a bit of glue on there just because we do have all those raised and lowered pieces from us running it through that embossing folder. But man, what a difference that makes. Oh, I love it. And I actually am pretty happy with those leaves. That's why I was thinking, don't we need like a leaf on there because we just ran it through leaves? I don't know. We'll just set it there like that. But I do have the inside of this card. See, I get talking, and especially when we talk about books that have kind of, you know, some books are kind of psychological that can really like screw with your head. Now I don't know what I did with the inside of my card. I know I set it aside because I was embossing, but did you guys see where I put it? Is it sitting right in front of my face and I'm just talking too much that I don't see it? Huh. All right, give me a minute. It's got to be around here somewhere. It didn't just walk off. Unlike my kids that walk off when you're in the middle of talking to them because you're trying to make them do something they don't want to, my paper doesn't have legs. So it can't be very far. Not even a jar candle, right? That's kind of where I'm like, okay, well. I know I had an inside piece sitting here because I think I even had did I not? Did I pick it up with my paper? Tell me I'm not losing my marbles, that you guys saw me with a piece. Okay, I guess we just grab another base because I have no idea what I did with that other one. But I do want to use this paper here. And I do want to grab, I like these colors. It very much goes with the colors of what I have here. So I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch or 3/4 inch piece by 5 1/4. And I think that's going to look good on the inside. And then we could also Yeah, that looks good in there. That really kind of all ties everything together. And then what do we want? We have this one that says, so happy to have you in my life. Deep breath. Yeah, that doesn't really go with that. What's the other one that we have? You've got this. That's actually kind of fitting because deep breath, you've got this. That might work. Or we just leave it alone and maybe just add, you know, one of our little books in there. Maybe this one. Just add a little book because we've got the books here. Or do we just cut out another one? Definitely not the ones with the candles. I'm sorry. I'm kind of taken back by that one. This kind of goes along with these color-wise. What do we think? I don't know, it shouldn't be that complicated, but for some reason in my brain, I overcomplicate everything. I think I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna take I do love how you pre-cut and store your insides in a case, and I started doing that too. What case? Oh, the dies, is that what you're talking about? Okay, so I'm gonna take this little florally. I like the florals with the books. I just think it kind of is cute together. Now you could definitely take a plant and set on your bookshelf because it's not explosive, but you might want to be careful if it is a real plant. You definitely don't want any moisture near your books. That could be bad as well, but not as bad as flames, but whatever. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's cute. Oh, my stamp cases like this. Is this what you're talking about? The insides? Yeah, I even put like a little thing over here. I think this is what you're talking about. Yeah. I even put Whisper White, well, back when we had Whisper White, but card bases and inside bases. Yeah, I keep different sizes in here because, you know, you never know what size you're going to need. So it just keeps them handy. So they're just kind of right there when you go to put your cards together. You've got your insides right there. I don't remember who, I think me and my mom started doing that. It's been a while, but I don't know if I saw somebody else doing it or maybe I get to take credit. I doubt it. Had to be something else, somebody else's idea. I don't think I'm that inventive. Okay, then I'm just going to put this white piece inside of my card. I probably should have taken a layer of Lost Lagoon and put inside of here because it's awfully white inside of that card. But again, it's just kind of keeping it simple, keeping it where you can just use, you know, this product, not having to bring a bunch of other things in. Yes, did I bring the embossing folder in? Yeah, to just give you another look of how you could kind of dress this card up. But either way, it, you know, either take it the step more with the embossing folder or just keep it simple. Like, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. But this card actually was inspired by me reading my book, and because the murder in my book just took place, so I was like, oh my Lord, you need to take a deep breath after that. So that's where that one came into play. So there we go. Let me get all my stamps out of the way so I don't drop any of my cards into my ink. And I do kind of just like that simple little mossy meadow twig there. I don't know, I think it kind of looks good. I didn't put it there permanently, so I mean, we could take it off if we don't like it, but let's go ahead and bring in today's cards. So we have our deep breath card with our books, and then we've got this fabulous little "You deserve all the good things." Isn't this just a fun set? I really like the colors. I love the colors, actually. They just seem really kind of soothing. You've got that spa collection kind of in there, that if you do go see anybody at the spa and you just want to thank them and give them just a little shout out, you could always make a card for your, what do they call them? What is your spa person called that actually, they have a name and I can't remember what it's called, but you can give that to them and just thank them for making you, you know, feel amazing once a month or however often you go have your spa day. And then your little book collection here. I think these are just kind of, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but like with the botanics in here, it just seems very soothing. I guess maybe that's the word that I'm looking for, is kind of a soothing kind of card. And you can never go wrong with Lost Lagoon. That color is just kind of a tranquil kind of color. And it does look really good with that old olive. So those are today and this week's Make It Monday Creative Haven card class to go. So when you place your orders with me in my online store, shopdannygarola.com, you will get this beautiful kit in the mail. Make sure you grab yourself your the Hobby Haven paper so you can have all these fabulous die cuts that you can add to your cards and not even have to worry about die cutting much besides just your little tags. All right, you guys, have a fabulous, I will not be live next week. I've got so many things coming up for the holidays. I've got to kind of like run the rest of this week. We've got doctor's appointments, and next week I've got to, now that we know that my son's girlfriend's going to be here for the for Christmas, I've got to now go shop. I mean, I've already done shopping for her, but now I need to go definitely make sure I get the stocking done and all that kind of stuff. So it is going to be a busy, busy rest of the week and next week. You guys have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. Don't forget, I will be live on Sunday, or on Wednesday, over on Pink Barn Stamper Group for our mystery stamping. And I've got a fun little gift for you guys in case you have any like last minute guests show up that you need to have something to give. It will be kind of a little fun gift giving. Yes, Merry Christmas to all of you. Have a very safe and happy holiday, and I will see you guys soon. All right, you guys, bye-bye.